Hi, this is Amerie, and you're checking out MVRemix.
www.mvremix.com.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Hugo. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, and yourself?
Pretty good, thank you.
Cool. Alright, so let's get right into this. What was it that brought you to singing instead of pursuing your writing career or starting a small business in publishing?
I'm sorry, I can't really hear you that well. You're kind of cutting out just a little bit. Can you repeat that one more time?
Sure. What was it that brought you to singing instead of pursuing writing more so?
Oh, I don't know. It was something like when I was in high school. I think my last year of high school, I just had a feeling that that's what I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird. It's kind of hard to explain because I'd always been really academically inclined and more into that stuff. Like anyone probably would have thought that I was going to turn out to be either a professor, a lawyer, or a writer, or something like that. And I've been writing for so long. But I don't know. I've also been doing talent shows and things like that as well.
Uh-huh.
But when I was a senior in high school, I think I just felt like, wow, that's really, really what I want to do. But, I went to college and still, pursued my studies, but also at the same time pursuing a career in music. And I still want to write as well.
So how did you learn how to sing?
I just always sang. My mother sings, so that's kind of just something that I always did. And as far as just myself practicing when I was growing up, I would just listen to the radio and try to do everything that they would do on the radio. So even if it wasn't really my personal style of singing, I would just try just to work my voice and try to get it to do different things.
Cool.
Strengthen my voice, things like that.
So
I think the raspiness in my voice actually, because I do have a raspy quality at times, and I can pinpoint, I think, when that happened. I'm pretty sure it was like my junior year of high school, and I played sports. I played basketball. It's so weird because I was like, why? It never was really, ever would get really raspy, but I lost my voice for probably like almost a week. And it was because it was the basketball tournaments and everything, and I was a tomboy anyway at the time. But I was doing a lot of yelling. Everyone was doing a lot of yelling, and I was screaming and screaming so much. And at the beginning, I didn't really think during those times about protecting my voice and things like that. You're young and you just think, oh, it's just there. You don't have to do anything special for it, like take care of it. And I lost my voice, I think, for like a week. But ever since that time, there would be a raspy quality to it. And I think I kind of messed it up or something. But I'm glad it does give it a distinctive quality.
Definitely.
This is like 50. 50 Cent has a very distinctive voice. But it's more so distinctive after, he went through the accident, or I guess when someone shot him.
Yeah.
It kind of changed his voice, but it actually made it so you really know it's him when you hear him,
Yeah.
Like things can happen like that.
Yeah, it made it very distinctive. So tell me about Touch.
The album or the single?
Well, mainly the album, but the single also.
Well, the Touch record was produced by Lil Jon, and the point of the song is it's a sex song, and the hook is "Don't be afraid to touch. I know you think I'm a good girl." And the reason why I wrote that was because I didn't realize until I guess about a year and a half, a couple of years afterwards, and really until I started getting into making this new album, that the impression that most people had of me based on the first album was round the way girl, really nice, sweet, cute, and very goody-goody.
Mm-hmm.
That's not all off base, but, that's just so single-faceted,
Yep.
And I really wanted to, and the first time around, I didn't talk about anything sexual, sensual. I stuck to the emotional side of relationships rather than the physical things. But I was like, wow, it's funny because people have this slanted view of me, but it wasn't just only for music, because even in high school and growing up, people always had this one-sided view of me, which was Amory's always happy, she's always smiling, and she's goody-goody, and that's it. But my friends, my closest friends, knew that's the side of me, but they'd also see me upset, sad, angry. They just got to see more of who I am. And so this project, I felt I'm ready to reveal a little more of myself this time. Last time I didn't. And the song, that's why the song is about letting a guy know, and it's in a small scale, letting a guy know, hey, you can, you should be more confident, or don't be afraid to really take it there with me, because you assume that I'm like this, but you just don't really know me well. And the reason why I titled the album Touch is because of that. I wanted to get people to see different sides of me and just open up a little more myself.
Cool.
With everyone, and talk about other things and show different sides of myself, and talk about the sexier stuff that I just didn't talk about last time, so I just didn't feel like it,
Definitely. Now, there were some production issues with regards to the release of One Thing. There were various rumors floating around and such. Can you tell me what happened there?
Well, it pretty much, I guess what you're talking about is what people were just saying, like, if the single was going to come out, or if anyone else wanted the single. But for that, I co-wrote that record with Rich Harrison, so that was always my record. And definitely was a single that I really believed in, my management believed in. So we basically just leaked it. It was just taking too long for everybody else to get it.
It sounds like it has some sort of DC go-go elements. Is that what you and Rich Harrison were going for? Definitely.
Because I went to school in DC. I was there for numerous years, and Rich is also out of DC. And the first album, we actually had some go-go elements in one of the records that we did, but it was like a slower kind of vibe. But it's funny because they actually played that song before the first album was even finished. They were playing that song on the radio, and it never did end up being a single. We were thinking about it, but we just opted to go with a different one instead. So this time we wanted to revisit that and make it up-tempo.
Yeah.
And it was great because we really also wanted to really show that DC kind of side, which was great because he's out of there, I'm out of there, and also the director, Chris Robinson, and I directed the video together, and Chris is out of Baltimore, so we kind of wanted to keep it give it that whole flavor,
Yeah. How do you feel being compared to the likes of J-Lo and Beyonce, because your current single's sonically very similar to theirs?
Well, I don't know. I guess when you have the same producer working on a record, it's kind of like when the Neptunes did when they first came out, and they had a very distinctive sound, and a lot of people were doing their tracks, but it kind of had a running theme. Rich and I have been working together since no one knew who we were, so I don't know. I think it's kind of something that we created together.
Yeah.
But now it's just a chance people get to. For the people who had my last album, they got to hear that. But the people who didn't, it's kind of new for them. But to everyone else, they kind of are used to that from Rich and I.
Definitely. Now, with regards to your previous album, do you feel that All I Have received the promotion it deserved, or do you have any other feelings on that?
I think it did. I think it did really well. I think it did well for a first album. There were a lot of people who were coming out, new artists were coming out at the time. But, it's just, I think one of the things probably was that I came out, and again, no one knew who I was. No one knew who Rich Harrison was. He was an unknown producer at the time. So, and that was a time that everyone was really big into clicks. If you were with a record label, like one of those smaller labels that were kind of like a family, and then you would bounce one artist off of the other. We didn't have that. We just had our music, and that's it. This is it. So I think we really did well. We ended up going almost platinum. We went gold.
Cool.
I think we sold like about 700-something thousand records, and I think it was a great start.
Oh, definitely.
Thank you.
So, now have fun with this one. Have you seen the film Fight Club?
I did see Fight Club.
Alright, well, I got a question I always ask, which is, a la Fight Club, if you could fight any celebrity, who would you fight?
If I could fight any celebrity, who would I fight?
I've had answers from Gary Coleman to Schwarzenegger to Elijah Muhammad.
Oh, you know who?
Who?
Angelina Jolie a la Lara Croft. I am so ready to be in Tomb Raider 3.
Nice, nice. With regards,
they need to set us up against each other.
with regards to film, What's going on with that? Do you have anything in the works, or?
Well, right now we're still looking at different scripts. For the most part, the scripts we're looking at film like in April, May, and that's, you know, exactly when I'm promoting the album and I want to go on the road and I want to be able to do everything that's related to the project. So I've kind of decided to opt out of some projects, but I definitely want to do some movies like later on in the year, you know, depending on what's going on with the album, because it is something that I think definitely deserves my full attention. Just like when I did First Daughter, I didn't start recording the album while I was doing the movie because I really wanted to keep my focus.
Yeah. Aside from acting, do you have any sort of creative writing aspirations with regards to film?
Well, actually, as far as the acting side?
Well, in terms of script writing or something.
Definitely. I was a writer first. You know, I was writing stories and stapling the front and the back together, making covers and writing a synopsis on the back. I mean, since I was like in the 4th grade. So, that's definitely something that I never like to talk about anything before it's done.
Yeah.
But I can say that people can definitely expect those types of things in the future.
Cool. Aside from the album, what else have you been working on? Like, have you been doing any guest appearances with rappers or collaborating with other singers, or?
Well, I just wrapped the album actually. I guess last week, right? We just finished the album last week. The last one that I finished was a song that Carl Thomas and I wrote, called "Can We Go," which is really hot, and it was wonderful working with him. He's someone I wanted to work with ever since he first came out, before I even started working on my stuff. On just some other things that I've been doing, but I hate to talk about it before it's done.
No, I understand. So, do you have any last words to your fans or potential fans that are going to be reading/hearing this?
I just definitely want to say that, you know, the album, I feel, is truly, 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 truly enjoyable. I don't just say this because it's my album, but I think it's a hot album. I think it's really different. It's a lot of fun, too. You know what I mean? I think it's always important to express yourself and take yourself seriously in a sense, but also to, you know, loosen up and just have fun and not take yourself too seriously. I think it's hot. I think for the people who love that last album, we have things in NSU that's, you know, the slower stuff, the mid-tempo, like driving records, and for the people who came up to me all the time saying, "Oh, I would love it if you do like some fast stuff, some tempo stuff," we got you.